In other words, if somebody were to walk up to your church and say, you know what, I don't want to say the number one worship leader, but the primary worship leader in your church is your senior pastor, how would you react to that statement?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important, and Todd and I mentor worship leaders online, and some of the conversations that I have a lot are just, what do you do if maybe you don't have a senior pastor that's a worshiper at heart, or just that maybe everyone's a worshiper at heart because we were all made for that. But I just mean maybe they haven't discovered that they are, or just don't know how to encourage their team around that. And so it's been hard for me to come up with ways to encourage that, because we've been blessed throughout the years to have that. Louis, who was our pastor in Atlanta, is that, even my own dad, who's been a pastor my whole life, has always been worship leader first. And our pastor now is such a worshiper at heart, and really even verbalizes from the stage. So I think as pastors, it's so important. I just know that even 2 weeks ago, our pastor Darren, he got up. We're back in Tennessee now, and he got up and really we did worship at the end of the service. We did one song at the beginning. I actually wasn't leading that Sunday, but it was just so refreshing. And so he kind of led up. It wasn't hypey or anything. He just expressed his heart for worship, and he used scripture and how we were made for that. And one of the things he said was people comment and they'll say oh, how was worship today? How we can leave church and, say that phrase, or you go out to lunch and oh, really, how was worship? And he's really, the question is how was your worship? How was that personal experience between you and Jesus? Really that's the question. And so he just went into, it wasn't a whole series on worship or anything. It was just, I think, and you wouldn't have believed the response of our people. And we did the whole set at the end, and it was I'd never heard our people sing louder. And I think it was just that hearing from the pastor of just him expressing what worship even is. And he talked about worship in the midst of sorrow, when you're literally, in the valley of the shadow of death. What does that look like? Worship, on the mountaintop. And it was just this beautiful response. So it's so important, and I encourage you, pastors, to just, even if it's the simplest thing, you wouldn't believe how your people and your worship team will just respond to hearing your heart on it.